If you work for a living, why do you kill yourself working? Open Reddit or scan through modern anti-work forums today, and you will find this exact phrase plastered across thousands of discussions about corporate burnout. But that quote didn't originate in a modern cubicle. A filthy, sweating Mexican bandit named Tuco Ramirez, better known as the Ugly, said it on screen in 1966. People generally remember the good, the bad, and the ugly as a cinematic playground where men in ponchos stare each other down in the blistering sun. Director Sergio Leone didn't treat the Western as a celebration of American ideals. He turned the genre into a landscape of grit and calculation, where traditional morality is replaced by a cold, transactional reality. We almost lost that specific message entirely. When the movie hit American theaters, the distributor slashed 16 vital minutes from the runtime, stripping away the philosophical core of the story for almost 40 years. To understand why a 1960s cowboy speaks so clearly to today's exhausted workforce, we have to piece together Sergio Leone's original, uncut vision. The traditional American Western relied on a very specific mythology, the morally pure frontier hero bringing civilized justice to a wild, untamed land. Leone shatters that archetype immediately with his protagonist, Blondie. His title might be The Good, but he operates as an icy, calculating scam artist who turns bounties for profit and then casually double-crosses his partners. Every choice these characters make is driven by a single, amoral goal, locating $200,000 in buried Confederate gold. Even the American Civil War itself is stripped of its ideological weight. In this narrative, the bloodiest conflict in U.S. history acts as nothing more than a chaotic, profitable backdrop for looting and extortion. The soldiers fighting the war aren't framed as heroes. They are anonymous victims caught in a senseless, mechanical meat grinder that obliterates human life. Ennio Morricone's soaring, operatic score plays directly against this carnage. The beautiful, sweeping melodies score moments of absolute barbarity, loading the slaughter with heavy irony. Then there's the bad, Angel Eyes. He wears a Union sergeant's uniform to operate a brutal prisoner of war camp, explicitly merging military expansion with systematic torture. Leone presents a world where the structures of authority, law, and patriotism are entirely hollow. Society here runs purely on violence and corporate-style greed. In the middle of this bleak, shattered ecosystem stands Tuco. He isn't a slick bounty hunter or a calculating military official. He's a desperate man trying to stay alive. His crimes don't stem from grand, abstract ambition. He steals, cheats, and scams to satisfy base human needs. He wants food, a warm bath, and a few moments of comfort. This flowchart shows the traditional Western hierarchy. At the peak sits the good, an untouchable moral authority. But Tuco's desperate scramble for survival physically flips that entire ecosystem upside down, exposing a rigged game of corrupt authorities and scammers. Under those conditions, Tuco stops being a standard movie villain. The grubby, exhausted bandit becomes the only character reacting logically to a completely inhumane environment. That nuance was finally rescued in 2003, when AMC and MGM funded a massive restoration project to piece together the original 3-hour Roman premiere cut of the film. The archivists went to incredible lengths, even bringing actors like Clint Eastwood and Eli Wallach back into the recording booth to dub lines they had originally performed 36 years earlier. The most critical piece of footage they rescued was the legendary Grotto scene. This missing sequence shows Tuco surviving an assassination attempt and then brilliantly conning his attackers out of their money. It injects a vital dose of humor and humanity into his character right in the middle of the film. Restoring this scene ensures that Tuco is no longer just a loud-mouthed obstacle for the protagonist to overcome. By giving him back his depth, the film's center shifts. He becomes the only human presence in a world governed by an inhumane system. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to restore this film, and we are still quoting Tuco's philosophy on the internet today for the exact same reason. He is the patron saint for anyone exhausted by a world where the only reward for hard work is a shallow grave.